Hi, this is Mike Naughton from North Coast Legal. I want to talk today about FOIA, the Freedom of Information Act, and the FCC, the Federal Communications Commission. There's a recent story by Gizmodo with a link below that talks about FOIA requests that were submitted to the FCC because of claims the FCC made that its site was hit with a denial of service attack. So what's FOIA? FOIA is a law that was created in 1966. It's a mechanism for people to submit a request to a federal agency and have the agency respond with the records. It is the ability to have freedom to information that the federal government has. Now, there are 9 restrictions on FOIA, so you're not necessarily entitled to get everything the federal government has, but you can make a request. The federal agency must give you a response. And if it fails to turn over certain materials, it has to give you a rationale for why. In this situation, with the FCC, there was an episode of This Week Tonight, a show hosted by John Oliver on HBO. And at the time, net neutrality was being discussed by the FCC. Oliver, at the end of his program, asked his audience to go to the FCC's portion of its website that talked about net neutrality and leave comments. In effect, supporting net neutrality, which was a position that was overturned by the FCC. In the wake of that, the FCC claimed that its comment system was broken by a denial of service attack that happened after the Oliver program. A denial of service attack is an attack where multiple computers or servers, bots in a sense, are programmed to direct their traffic to one source. And by doing that in concert, it debilitates the source that's being attacked by the denial of service attack. The FCC claimed that's what happened to them. Many security experts took the position that there wasn't evidence to suggest that a denial of service attack, or DOS or DDoS, or distributed denial of service attack, had happened. News organizations, including Gizmodo, sent FOIA requests to the FCC, the federal agency, asking for documents to support its claim that there was a denial of service attack. The FCC, up until very recently, hadn't produced much in the way of substantive responses to the FOIA requests. Recently, however, and as the story in Gizmodo illustrates, the FCC did turn over some emails as well as some other redacted documents, but that show and call into question its claim that there was in fact a denial of service attack. Whether or not the FCC was attacked by denial of service or not is an issue for another day. But what is important, what I wanted to highlight, was the FOIA procedure and how it worked and how a request to a government agency can be made and documents must be provided if FOIA law is met. And that's what happened here. I'm sure there's litigation to follow, but the FOIA requests to the FCC did produce documents that people are now looking at. So that's the Freedom of Information Act. It applies in the federal government, and there's also state FOIA laws for each of the states for individuals to request documents for a state agency. And so it's not just federal. So thanks so much for watching. If you liked it, please hit the thumbs up. Also hit subscribe. Definitely appreciate subscribers. And if there's any questions, comments, please leave them below. Thanks.